Hello there, everybody. Mike Heck here for MMAfighting.com, bringing you another question of the day. Today's question comes from the feed from John Fioto, who asks, how do you think the UFC 322 card at Madison Square Garden will look this year? The UFC in the past usually stacks the MSG events with great high-stakes fights from top to bottom, but in the last 2 years, it's been very top-heavy. The main event this year seems all but confirmed by the UFC, with JDM versus Islam and the co-main event likely to be Valentina versus Weili. But what about the rest of the card? Personally, I would make Gaethje versus Hooker the featured bout, Leon versus Gary the second main card fight, with Talbot versus Yanez as the main card opener. I would also have a lot of local talents like Matt Frivola, Billy Q, Eric Nolan, Fatima Klein, and the hopeful return of Shane Burgos. Yeah, we've heard really nothing yet for the MSG card in November. Last year's card was headlined by John Jones versus Stipe Miocic, a fight nobody but Jones, Stipe, and Dana White wanted. I mean, nobody wanted that fight. And then we got Chandler versus Oliveira. This year, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I had to write some stuff down. So let's try to build this, and I'm gonna try to do this as realistically as possible. Islam JDM for the welterweight belt seems like a great main event for the card. It seems like all signs are pointing in that direction. Fantastic main event. Valentina versus Zhang Weili for the flyweight belt. Love that idea for the co-main event. I think the stakes will level out a bit more and we go a bit weird for the rest of the main card because those two fights are massive. I feel like Michael Chandler ends up on this card. So let's do Michael Chandler versus Renato Moicano. Seems like a fitting matchup. That could be a main card opener. Could be the second fight on the pay-per-view. Featured bout. I'm with you. Let's go with Leon Edwards competing at MSG. But he's not fighting Ian Machado Gary. He's fighting Jorge Masvidal. What are we waiting for? If Masvidal is going to return and fight in the UFC, which he continues to say he's going to do, let's just do this now. The build to this could steal the show. The fight might not be spectacular, but that fight will get a ton of buzz. It will get a lot of casual appeal. Main card opener, since the title is going to be on the line later on, let's do a legit title eliminator in the women's flyweight division. Let's do Natty Ice versus Erin Blanchfield. You get some high stakes, you get some local flavor, and it's a huge fight for both women. Winner gets a title fight. We obviously still have the December pay-per-view. You could build that one up too with some big names because that's a big week in Las Vegas to cap off the year. Then we can put more of the high stakes matchups on there because Islam versus JDM is a huge, huge fight. But again, no insight to any of this. Just trying to feel this one out, trying to be as realistic as possible. But thank you for the question. That was fun. If you want your question to be the question tomorrow, head to the feed on MMAfighting.com, find the question of the day post and leave it there. See you tomorrow.